Hello and welcome to the second weekly FPV building live stream podcasting thing. I don't know what this is. I don't know what it is yet anyway. We'll work together to continue planning the whole thing out. This week we got a pretty exciting build. We're building an XBR220. This was sent to me, all of the parts, everything that you see here, by FPVRaceleague.com. They're also known as Drone Rental Supply on YouTube. I'm not sure what exactly they wanted to go by, but that's them. They sent all these parts. I'm building it for them, and I'm sending the whole thing back to them so that they can use it in their league. So I'm pretty excited to be working on this quad because it's one that I've wanted for myself for a long time. But I'm also excited to be working on it for them. If you are a first-time guest, say so in the chat. I'd love to hear from you. I'm excited. Welcome. If you are a newcomer, or if you're a returning person, I thank you for your patronage, and I'm sorry you don't have something better to do with your Thursday night. And if you're a vendor, send me your stuff, and I would love to feature it in a video or in a live stream or whatever you prefer. I'd love to talk about it. But yeah, so I'm excited about this build. I'm actually a little bit nervous about it. I've never done anything that's quite as intense, as tight as this thing is. So it could all end in tears, and that's kind of the fun of the live stream. Is you get to watch me put stuff up in magic smoke. Hopefully not, but if it happens, then you know that's that. So yeah, so let's quickly go over all the parts that we're using here. It's a bit of a mess here on my desk, but that's okay. It's half the fun of the process. Boom. All right. So here we have the XBR220 frame. Inside of it, we have like a cut down version of the 1177 TVL, this 600 TV line. Can't remember the word. Whatever. Yeah, Sony, Superhead, CCD camera. So that's that. This is the frame. This thing is redonkulously light. I am super excited about it. I can't wait to maiden this. I get to tune it up for Drone Rental Supply as well, so I'm excited about that. I have 4 30-amp KISS ESCs. These are going to be pretty awesome for this build because we are running Cobra 2204 2300 motors, and the intention of this frame is that you're going to build it with it'll swing 6-inch props, so you're going to get that 60-45 massive amount of thrust on 2300 kV motors because it's such a light thing, and I think that's going to be pretty awesome. So we've got these motors, we've got these ESCs, KISS 30, Cobra 2204, 2300, blah blah blah. Moving all this out of the way for us. This is the sandwich. If you've not seen it yet, go to the Black Bolt XBR team's YouTube pages and check out their build guide for how to make this. I did it ahead of time because I was a little bit nervous about getting it right, and that was actually a good thing because what I found out when I built mine was that I needed to access the bootloader pins, which are way down underneath there. And so I built the whole thing up, I had to take the whole thing apart, I had to put it all back together again, and I added this jumper here for the bootloader pins so that if you ever need to flash a new firmware, that's available. So it's a little bit messier than what they've done, but I'm still very happy with it. I'm excited about the form factor. So yeah, what is this? This is an X4R receiver on this end, and an Afro Mini Naze on this end. So this has all of the features of an Acro 32 Naze, and it is running on S-Bus, and these are connected. I've already bound them, already tested out that this works. You can flash it over FTDI, use it, and if you need to, you can jump it. So, Naze, S-Bus, good. Velcro strap, always needed. Got some heat shrink for each of the ESCs, mounting hardware. This is the Lumineer power distribution board. They did not send me a Polulu, but instead this 5-volt UBEC, so I might actually even just wire this right into that somehow and hide it somewhere else. But yeah, that should be good. It looks like 5-volt comes out this way. I hope that's right. We're running the FX799T video transmitter. This is one of my favorites. I find them a little bit fragile, actually. But they're good. And we got an SMA extension, a pretty long one actually. I mean, because this only has to go, to here. So we'll see what we're going to do with that. I'm not totally sure about this build yet. I've never, like I said before, never done it before, so I'm a little bit nervous about how it's going to go. Why can't you see my face? Not that anybody wants to see that. Give me 1 second. Okay. FaceTime, go. Aha! Hey. So, are we ready to get this started? Curtis Beef, hello, how's it going? It's good to see you. I need to do a build with a Beef's brush board at some point. I'm wanting something to do indoors. All right, let's mess this up. So the first thing that I decided I was going to do was actually going to be, I'm going to put in some mounting hardware for the power distribution board because I'm going to forget to do it, and then it's going to bite me in the butt. Let's see. So I just bought a bunch of new standoffs, and I'm actually not seeing the thing that I hoped that had come in this. Give me 1 second. Regardless, we're going to make it work, but well, so I guess what we'll do is take some of these smaller ones, run them straight through the bottom, and we can put that on that there. Trying to get this out. What's the ESC again? They are 30 amp KISS ESCs. Yeah, Akbots is fantastic. If you've not seen his stuff, go look it up right now and have a more entertaining evening. Abandoned FPV is one of my favorites. I think it's one of his too. So yeah, sorry I'm not putting this in front of the camera, but all I'm doing is putting these standoffs in. Bring the dog back. Who is this guy? Yeah, Kira is pretty adorable. She's the best part of my videos. Sorry. Sorry. If you want me to slow down and explain anything, let me know. I'm like super nervous. Like I'm actually like shaking. Because I'm 100% convinced that I'm going to screw something up. Golly, I'm dropping these things like crazy. Pete, all of this stuff will show up on my channel tomorrow, as soon as this is done. The nose is healing pretty well. Yeah, nobody needs to know about that. Why not a 5-volt Palula? The Beck is massive, because that's what the vendor sent me, and that's what I'm going to use. I do not have. Well, I might. I don't think I have a Palula. I have some different voltage regulators. The frame, I believe, is 3 mil. Let me grab my calipers. All right, so we've got that mounting stuff in there. You see that? Not sure if I can get the angle right on this. There we go. So just over 3, something like that. I would love to do some micro quad builds. My current budget has not yet allowed me to do a micro quad build. So I would appreciate the opportunity to do it, but yeah. Let's see. Can you explain the terms for the noobs? it's going to be easier if you tell me what you want me to slow down or what you want me to explain. There's a lot of different things going on right now, but yeah. So if you could help me out by saying, "Wait, hold on, what's that mean?" That would be great. I'm building a microquad next week. Got tired of the Hoopson. I really liked my Hoopson. I wish it still worked. It was the first quad that I ever worked on, which was a mistake because it's so tiny. And so I think I toasted like 3 or 4 Hoopson frames before I ever even fixed one. Like I just kept buying them off eBay or off of freaking Banggood, I think. Banggood sells the Hoopson stuff. Hi, Lazed. The parts list, I went through it at the beginning. I'm sorry about that. Cobra 2204 2300s, KISS 30 amps, FX 799T, VTX, Afro Mini, Naze, and X4R receiver. All right, so the next thing I want to do is actually, I'm going to put my motors on so that as I'm going through this, I can kind of cut them back and get them on the way I want. When I was playing with it earlier, basically the motor wires go through here and come down out, which is really nice, but if you don't put the wires through first, it's really hard to get them in. So I'm just, again, I'm kind of going to be off camera here, not... just because it's a pain to try to show it and work with the frame. So I'll switch back to this view. Yeah. I gotta like come up with a list of topics or something to talk about when I'm not working on something that's really like visible. But I'm still getting used to this, so I apologize. Yeah, Afro Mini and the receiver are stacked together in what's called a sandwich. If you go Google how to make a sandwich, XBR220 or Black Bolt or something, then you can see how that's made. I did it ahead of the video because I was really nervous about getting that wrong, and I did. It took me like 3 hours to get it together. Somebody even went on Facebook, kind of was making fun of me, like, "Oh, what? You're not doing that live? I wanted to see you screw it up." I think somebody else that's already gone through the pain of building this, so that kind of cracked me up. Yeah. My dog's name's Kira. She's a German Shepherd. She is just over a year old. We actually know when she was born. It was the 11th of November of last year. And yeah, she loves to go out and chase the quadcopter when I go flying. I'll take her with me like 50% of the time, and that's good. Afro Mini is an F1 processor, yes. I am running Betaflight on it. What are the advantages of X quads over regular H quads? Well, the advantage of this one is less that it's an X quad, even though, I mean, there are advantages of X quads over H quads, definitely. But this one is actually super light. All up, this should be close to 250 grams. It might be a little bit heavier because we're running some heavier hardware, like the KISS 30s and stuff like that. But yeah, in general, it stays pretty light. But the X quad style is kind of becoming the preferred thing for racing because of agility and tunability and structure. This thing is very hard to break. If you talk to Jordan Tempkin or Chris Fisher or any of the Team Big Whoop guys, they'll tell you that they've crashed these things straight into concrete and have a hard time breaking anything. Yeah, 10 to 1 power to weight ratio. Interesting. Rotor Geek says that it does only ppm, but okay. Yes, this does. I'll show the cam in a second. But yeah, this receiver and Afro Mini are working with each other. I've already tested it out. They've bound, and I was able to watch the receiver tab, so it's all good. I think right now I have flashed to it already. What's it called? Betaflight 2.2. I didn't put 2.3 on it yet, just because I've already flown 2.2. I know how to expect it to behave when I'm flying this one. XBR is, I believe, $85. No, $80, and you have to buy a 3D printed hood for it. Okay, I gotta move some hardware off of my thing. Always keep a little box handy for all of the miscellaneous bits. Give me just a second, sorry. Alright, go back to the webcam view here. Ta-da. Does it arm? You know, I don't think I tried arming it. Hopefully it will. Getting a good bit of static. I think it's the laptop fan. I'm sorry, it's a little bit warm in here, and then with all of the extra electronics running, it starts to heat up fast. Okay, ooh, that fits nicely. So we've got the motors all hooked up, and we've got. So the next thing is going to be mounting up our KISS. I always turn off baro. Yeah, the F1 processors are. Are you thinking about designing your own frame? Nope. There are plenty of great ones out there. Yet to try. Let's see. So I'm going to start with just one of these. There's a jumper on here somewhere for changing motor direction, right? Where is that? Does anybody know? This is my first time working with KISS ESCs as well, so don't judge my lack of knowledge. So the trick is I want to be sending my wires back up through this hole, and the KISS ESCs are pretty big. I mean, compared to something like a little B, which would fit in here a little bit better. But the KISS, we need the extra power for those big props. But so I'm going to try to get this nice and short and clean. But so something like this will be good. So I'm just going to cut the wires right here. The kiss of fire, yeah, I'm nervous about that. Voila. Okay. Although the Kiss of Fire stuff was supposed to have been fixed in... What is this crap? Like, this is not silicone wire. There's something else on here. Oh, that'll work. Why Cobra's Paul and not Nice Guys? Again, this was a build that was sent to me to put together, and so I am running the that which they sent me. We miss you in IRC, you beautiful bearded bastard. I've thought about coming. I do want to come back, but I can't handle IRC as a platform. Like Slack is so much better. It's so much easier for me to have up during the day. A lot of people can't even use IRC at work. That's an exaggeration, but you know. All right. Let's tin these guys up. Hey, you got to do what you got to do when it comes to workspaces, right? So I'm going to put the heat shrink on this side because I'm hoping that I'll have a little bit more space to work with at that point. Yes, I'm pre-tinning the the ESC motor pads so that when I get to this point, I can just hook them right on. And if you guys see me do something stupid, let me know because I am very likely to do something dumb because I'm trying to talk and work here at the same time. It's never a good plan. All right, so I think I'm okay with that. I'm gonna put the heat shrink on, but I'm not going to do it. What is the word I'm looking for? I'm not going to shrink it until closer to the time. I want to be able to change motor direction and do all that kind of stuff without accidentally causing a problem. All right, so now to run signal to the nays, we're going to want, I don't know, let's just give ourselves to the far corner in case we need it. So something like that. Position the ESCs so you can access the JP2 jumpers if you want to change direction. I'm just going to change direction the old-fashioned way. As bad as that sounds. I am horrible with jumpers. And, yeah, so... like, I actually ruined something last night because I forgot about... or because I was, like, just trashing the jumper. Yeah, so I'm tinning this wire here. Pretty exciting stuff. You cannot invert direction in BL Heli Suite because these are KISS ESCs, not BL Heli ESCs. There's one. Actually, I mean, can you connect to KISS ESCs? I mean, my understanding was that you couldn't, but I could be misspeaking there. I guess I'm not sure because, like I said before, this is my first build on a KISS with a KISS platform. Of any kind. All right. So I'm going to tin up these pads. Can somebody double check for me on this? This is signal and this is ground for the signal pad for going to the flight controller, correct? trim this back a little bit. Okay, there's the ground. This needs to be a little bit shorter. Money. Okay, let's double check that this is correct. You said it's the closest one to the positive, so that's what we've got here, is that the positive pad is next to the ground. Mr. Noah Bresley, welcome. Do you have the ground, the signal pad? The PDB for the ZMR didn't have ground, so I just cut it off. So I didn't used to. I used to actually just ground anywhere on the PDB. But then I had some really serious problems. Stop it. I had some really serious problems with one, and so now I'm going to ground everything. Yeah, Mister. You're a Mister. I mean, unless you recently changed to a Ms. Thanks, Ziva. I appreciate it. You guys want to see the dog? All right. So now I'm just measuring the length of this wire. So I got to go to ESC2, which is here. Which one's ground? Here. So this is ground to there, so I'm going to give myself a little bit extra to work with, so we're looking at this length. Why don't you put heat shrink after soldering? Because you can't. Oh, I guess I could have waited until after this. Twitch technically is only for for gaming stuff. What is this? 14. And I find that more people are on YouTube, and this automatically uploads to my YouTube account. So I've got all of that stuff there. I like that a lot. I just like using the same platform for everything. And I've found that I mean, maybe you guys disagree, but watching it on YouTube is pretty good, right? Yeah, that's a good point. The Twitch creative section, I hadn't thought about that. But yeah, again, I don't know. I like having everything in the same spot. And I mean, I'm not doing gaming. I'm not trying to. Live streaming really isn't my focus, even though it's really fun. But yeah, YouTube Live is great. It's new to them, so they're kind of getting it started. That should work. Ground positive, where's positive? You can play Call of Duty and build at the same time. Not sure that I am quite skilled enough for that. Ah! Sorry. All right. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Double O Asian. I like that. Yeah, there's something wonky about planning events that I haven't yet figured out. It's like sometimes it will start right away. Sometimes I have to go just click and start. But yeah, if you ever want to go back and watch anything, it'll all be on my YouTube by the morning for sure. What is a Boba Fett? Well, I I've avoided it for a long time, but I'm kind of just starting to finally steer into the skid of like Boba Fett plus the Pokemon character, the Bulbasaur. All right, let's send these wires through. Let me aim this up a little bit. Please be long enough. Yes, okay, cool. So, this ESC. Whoever was not making fun of me for not having pliers, I now have pliers, so you should be proud of me. Which iron do you have? This is the Weller 40 watt from Amazon. I'd like to have a better one, but you know, honestly, this thing really meets all of the needs I've ever had, and so I have yet to find a reason to switch. This right here, this is like a $30 webcam that I got on Amazon. It says it does 1080p uh, at certain resolutions, but like at certain frames, it like slows down really bad. So I think it broadcasts like somewhere just shy of 720p. But I got it because it has a really nice wide-angle lens. So yeah, so there's one ESC mounted. Not too bad so far. I think that looks pretty good. Everything's hooked up. Ooh, I don't have a pigtail ready. Where is... You know what would be really funny is if I didn't have any XT60 females. I just saw one the other day. I think I need to place a new order for XT60s. Where did I put it? Right. Nope. That's a no. A pigtail is what you hook the battery up to. Oh wait, I took something... I took one off a quad the other day. Voila! Look at this, pre-made and everything. Although this is pretty low gauge wire. I'm going to take this one apart and put on some higher gauge wire real quick. So I like to do my... I like to plug in my battery after wiring up every ESC, so that if something does go horribly wrong, I know where the problem is, at least. You know, obviously we don't want that to happen, but you know, things do go wrong. My other tip for any beginners is the first time you power your quad, anytime you make a change, record it with your phone, and then you can go back and look. I think this is like 16, and for a quad that's supposedly going to be able to do, I don't know. It should easily do 100 amps. I want to make something a little bit bigger. So this doesn't need to be super long, I think. This is 12 gauge wire here. So I think we only need to get to like there-ish. I don't know if you can see that. So I'm going to cut it right here. An ugly man's manual will tell you all the amperage ratings per gauge. I'm not sure exactly I follow what you mean. Yeah, I know distance matters, but it's kind of more of like a let's play it safe than sorry kind of thing, especially because I'm building this for someone else. Yeah, I think most people will run a 1000 milliamp pack on this. I'm going to be running it with 1300 milliamp tattoos because that's all I have, or those are the smallest 4-cell packs I have anyway. But yeah, I mean, it all comes down to whatever you like. What gauge are the wires on your batteries? The tattoos, some of them have 10 gauge and some of them have 12. People didn't believe me when I said that there are 12 or 10 gauge wires on there, but there are. But yeah, so 10 to 12. I'm sure 12 will be fine here for this. Yeah, 10 is nuts. I don't know. I was surprised because let's see. Do I still have it sitting around here? I had it out the other day because I had some dead Lumineers or something that I had hooked up to I had actually used as a wire harness for something. Yeah, no, please, by all means, correct me. I say stupid stuff all the time out of a lack of knowledge. So if something needs corrected, do not hesitate to call me on my BS. What do I think of the tattoo packs anyway? They're fine. I honestly don't know that much notice that much of a difference between one pack or another. There are some that are definitely worse, but you know, I'd be just as happy flying my tattoos as my SMCs as my nanotechs, as long as I'm in the air. Like that's all I really care about. Do you not like? I'm cleaning it between everything. Don't worry. Everybody's gonna judge my soldering. Do you not like solder paste? I don't know what solder paste is. I didn't know anything about electronics before I started doing this, and the only stuff that I've learned is like literally from watching build videos, and watching a lot of RC model reviews. Okay. Sorry, I gotta stand up and find my bag from the other day. Okay, a lot of people made fun of me for not having heat shrink. I bought some heat shrink, more heat shrink. I have big heat shrink. I don't have little ones. All right, and you get to make fun of me for not having another thing. I do not have a heat gun, so I use a trusty old lighter. Oh, look at that. I put those on backwards. The polarity is right. Look at that. We got black over here and red over here. Nope, it's red heat shrink. I just screwed it up. I'm probably gonna cover it with duct tape or electrical tape anyway. But yeah, I don't mind the lighter. It's annoying because like you get like the burn marks and stuff on it, you know, which is fine, but it's stupid. So it's kind of like it's this kind of thing where it's like, yeah, I could go spend 20, 30 bucks on a nice heat gun or a decent heat gun, but then I would have 20, 30 bucks less to spend on parts that I actually need. Okay, positive. So that's positive on the XT60. That's the positive wire. That's the positive pad. And we don't have enough. I use this super small thing whenever I know I'm going to be working on a flight controller. And as a result, it makes it harder to heat these big pads. I mean, I want a heat gun. I'm a guy. I like having tools. I'll probably get one. Okay, need those tweezers. Let's get them hot. Okay, come on. All right, pigtail hooked up. Positive, positive, negative, negative. Negative there, positive there. Okay, we have a positive on that pad, negative on that pad. Positive here, negative there. Don't worry about the signal wires yet. And no solder bridges on the motors. So we should be able to wire this up, and we should not see any magic smoke. He said, anybody have anything that they want to say before I pull the trigger on this? Reaching for a battery, hold on. What gauge for the pigtail? It's 12 gauge wire. 3, 2, 1. The motor spun for a second. Is it supposed to beep? Do KISS ESCs beep? Only after they hook up to the flight controller? Yes, ESCs. Well, do KISS ESCs beep though? I'm not hearing anything at all. There's no FC, so no FC signal. They beep once you've burned your house down. I don't have 5 ESCs. That's part of the reason I'm so nervous. So I guess we'll keep moving. The motor spun for a sec. But yeah, if anybody could confirm for me that KISS ESCs do not beep when they're not hooked up to a flight controller. All right, we'll move on to the next one. KISS número 2. Yeah, welcome everybody. If you're a first-time viewer, I'm excited that you're here. This is a weekly thing, hopefully, assuming I always have something to work on. If I don't have something to work on, I might just get on and talk for 15 minutes with a beer or something like that, which could be fun. It could be super boring. But I'm going to discipline myself to do it every week, if I can. Yeah, so if you're new, welcome. If you're returning, thanks for your thanks for returning. So you think that you should never power up an ESC without radio signal, huh? This would be quite slim quad there. I've seen. I don't know if I'm going to finish this guy tonight. We shall see. It's always fun to be able to maiden on the live stream, so. We're losing viewers. I guess everybody's getting bored. Yes, errorism. That is correct. Is anybody else working on something right now? Double O Asian, I really appreciate you looking that up. Thank you. So we should be good with the ESC not beeping. All right, that looks good. Building a QAV210 right now. I like my QAV210 a lot. I'm jealous of the Armat in F1. Homework, that sucks. Akbots, new prototype. Time to talk about that a little bit. What you working on? I'm trying to find some more wire, sorry. Oh, here we go. All the parts for a 450 and a 250. Also am on the wait list for an RS90 kit. Oh, awesome. I have all of the parts just finally for my. I'm building I think it's gonna be like in the 500s hexacopter, based off of the motors from 3DR, those like $3 motors. So I'm pretty pumped about that. Okay, so I measured that and then I didn't pay attention to it. So I'm just going to cut it there. Hodgepodge of RC parts. Yeah, I should give you guys a tour of my little office here. It's a mess. New parts and electronics for Hellbender. I thought you already had a Hellbender. I was looking at it the other day, actually, because I want to, like everybody does right now, I want a sub 250 gram Delio. That's a technical word. Yeah, Ziva, I want to work on something for quasi aerial photography to kind of make some nice B-roll for videos and stuff. I think it'd be really fun, and also to kind of like goof around with, like what if we carried a pool noodle into the air, and did stuff like that. Upgrades, options, all new powertrain. Cool. Well, if you ever want me to do a live stream build of one, you know who to call. All right. Signal lines for this guy. Where did you see the, if you supply me the parts, I 100% will build you a quadcopter. Sounds awesome. I would be thrilled to get on the phone at any point and talk. I'm newish to the RC field, and I'm really happy to see community so nice to each other. Yeah, I love that about the RC community. It's actually one of the things that I talk about when people are like, oh, why do you fly and stuff like that. Like it is a bunch of people that care about everybody else having an amazing time. Like, I mean, you go to a race. My favorite thing is racing, and so I talk about it a lot. But like, when you go to a race and you have a problem, like 4 people are going to come up to you like, how can I help? What tools do you need? Can I give you some spare parts? Blah, 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 blah. And like, I mean, there are very few places that are like that. The only other place that I've experienced that is like running. I've done a little bit of running in races and stuff, and like, it's just crazy how supportive everybody is. You know, going to F3 Expo and getting to meet Akbots, who is here. You know, fantastic guy. I love talking to him. But I mean, he was so willing to kind of talk and like explain, for example, you know, what he's thinking about when he's going around the course and what he did to practice to get as good as he is, and you know, all that kind of stuff. The same thing with Sharpoo and with Brian Morris, Brain Drain, and Bapu. It was just incredible to be a part of that. Yeah, AJ, you're like one of my favorites by far. So good work. All right, fanboy moment over. So what did he do to get so good? I don't know, AJ, you want to talk about that? I actually did an interview with him, and that's on my YouTube channel. There's a whole hour-long worth of it. But one of the things that he started with was simulators when he couldn't get a lot of stick time, and then quickly moved over to, I don't know, I think AJ does like contracting or something, so he never flies in the same spot twice. Like he's just always out trying out something new at a new place, and that gets you good fast because you don't want to screw something up. Practice every day, yeah. That's the next thing is you have to get stick time in. Any pilot, every pilot that I've talked to says you have to go out and fly. AJ lives in freaking Texas, so there is no lack of warm weather to fly in. So screw you. What are $50 each? Paul, move your face to the top right. Oh, sorry. I think the camera has moved around a little bit. All right, now this power line. There we go. Parking garages everywhere. Yeah, I haven't been brave enough to do a parking garage, actually, for some reason. Damn, I'm late. Can you start over? It'll all be uploaded to YouTube tomorrow morning, so subscribe and you'll see it when it comes out. Yeah, I really like Liftoff. It just started snowing here recently, so. The Cobras were not my first choice, but they came. I'm doing this build for someone else, and that's what they wanted to put on here, so that's what it's running. Don't worry, officer. It's a friend. I'm holding it for a friend. Don't forget the heat shrink. Yeah, thank you. Liftoff multiplayer is not coming soon enough. I don't know. They keep hinting that it's soon, so I don't know what that means in development, video game development world. Soon could be, next quarter. Thank you for the reminder of the heat shrink. I guarantee you I would have forgotten it. How do you like your new FPV goggles? My Dominator V3s are fan-frickin-tastic. I want to just wear them around the house. Half-Life 3 is soon. Double O Asian, you gotta stick around more often. You're cracking me up every time. This build is fun. Yeah, I don't know when these Cobras were bought, so they might actually be part of the Bad Batch. I hope not. Yeah, no, I am so grateful. My friends and family all pitched together for Christmas to get me a pair of Dominator V3. I have flown 16:9 aspect ratio since I started flying, just because I preferred it in my quantum goggles. And so it was not unusual for me to start flying with the Dominator V3s. Matthew Ward, are you in IRC? Not IRC, Slack. Actually, no. Just go to my website. It's on the bottom there, paulnerkula.com. There's a big contact form that you can fill out. And yeah, just leave me your email address, and I'll talk to you about it for sure. All right, how's that look? Positive, 2. Positive. Ground is that one, which is not hooked to anything. Signal is there. Negative is over here. It's a negative. That looks good. And check these. You are in Slack. Okay, yeah, just reach out to me. And then servo wires, or motor wires all look good. Cool. Yeah, Hyper MTR. I love building. I love sharing this with everybody. So I'll do as much as I can. It all comes down to whether or not I have something to work on. I have a couple more that are coming up, but some of them I kind of want to do offline because it's more things that I don't necessarily that are new to me. Where it's kind of like, ooh, I don't know if I should be, getting in front of a bunch of people and screwing something up, to the point where it could be a little bit embarrassing. I'm learning on my Nano QX 3D. Awesome. I have a Nano QX that I still fly often. This is it. It's missing a prop right now. But yeah, I moved everything over to this cool little frame that folds out and stuff. Pretty fun to fly. I had FPV for it, but it was the HS or VA1100 thing from that comes with the Horizon Hobby thing, and it broke after a bazillion crashes, which is fine. I was actually really happy with it for what it was. But yeah, that I do miss micro FPV, and that's why when Curtis Beef was in here, actually, I don't know, are you still here, Curtis? I'm hoping to get one of his Beef's brushed boards and fly that, get a micro build going around that. I want to create the best possible experience I can for micro. These are KISS 30s that I can, so that I can continue to practice with something real. Because I think I could set up a pretty fun little course in my garage or in the basement or something like that. Terrorize the cats and the dog. What's Slack? Yeah, slack.com. Hunter Kistler, hey, welcome. Should be doing homework right now watching mini quad builds. Just turn off the video and listen to the sultry sound of my voice. That was a line from Monsters, Inc. For those of you not with it. I'm working on an F450 with an APM as we speak. Awesome. I will prop up the phone and watch as I build. Awesome. Yeah, I love having people come out and I really like this cutting board because it's got these little grooves, and I usually just stick some like screws in there, and then because I can use my little Gorilla Pod here to mount it to it, I always know what the camera can see. So it's more than just a necessity. It's or like a hack. It works really well. These are KISS 30 amp ESCs. What is the team on Slack so I can join you? Go to fpv-chat.com. Yeah, I think sometimes. Not often enough, but sometimes I do. Okay, let's tin these guys up. My sponge is getting pretty nasty. Did you sand/finish the edges? You don't have to with the Black Bolt XBR. They have a really big desire for the quality and the end experience. So they actually have like a tumbler that they put on the I think in somebody's garage that they actually it sands out everything. They finish the frame, so like you can actually see that's really nice and smooth. And it feels way different than any other carbon fiber that I've worked with. It's awesome. What antenna will you put for FPV? Whichever one I have around at the same time. Is there a lot of different available RC copter parts stores online? There are tons of RC parts stores online. Stay away from. I have not had a particularly bad experience with any. This is bought at blackboltdesigns.com, I think. Yeah, the Black Bolt, they're awesome. With I really like watching Black Bolt stuff. I mean, they do great media. They have a great website. They have an amazing product. They have great quality customer service. Like, it's just a fun all around combination of things. Just really talented, smart, nice people. Jordan Tempkin comes and hangs out with us in Slack once in a while. Stuff like that. Like, it's just great to have them around. All right, we got to find some more wire here. There's a white one. A lot of black. Come on! I never would have thought I would have run out of like spare ESC wire sitting around. Really? Do I not have any more black wire? No, here we go. Yeah, they're fantastic guys. I mean, they're all from Colorado, so they're all, you know, a little bit stoned, but it's pretty hard not to have a good time with those kind of guys. Just kidding. Just trying to strip this wire here, sorry. You can build this with a regular sized naze, yeah. Yeah, I order a lot from Ready Made RC, and don't tell them but Buddy RC, because they're very near me, because I live in Indiana, but they're both in Ohio, just across the border. So with regular shipping, stuff gets really, really fast. Gosh, the silicone coating on this wire is ridiculous. There we go. Yeah, RMRC is great. Don't tell Ockbots I said that. Actually, do tell them that. Yeah, $29 a piece for a motor seems pretty exorbitant to me. I'm not. I mean, I buy $10 motors, so I guess I can't really talk that much. But yeah, $29 is. I can buy 3 motors for that price. So I mean, and 3 motors that I'm very happy with. The Sunny Sky 2204 2300 kV motors. They're what are currently running on my QAV210. They do a great job. If you go watch our latest video, there's some flight footage with that. Not, is it my latest? I'm not sure. But yeah, you can get them on hifpv.com for $10. It takes about almost 3 weeks to ship, but you know what? For good motors, that's a price I am willing to pay. Not ready for heat shrink yet, but thank you. What's Naze? Naze is a flight controller. It's kind of the go-to one for everybody, for most beginners anyway. It's starting to get outdated with hardware, so you should be good with it for a while, but some of the software is starting to get to the point where there's going to be some limitations, but I think Naze is a great place to start for a beginner. There's a lot of support for it. A lot of videos on how to use it. I've never used a seriously dodo, but I would really like to. Cough. I have a Lumineer Lux on the way whenever the new batch comes out. All right, let's get these guys on here. Ugh, I'm starting to feel the hunching over. Sometimes I need to just go take a break for a bit. Oh, that's the wrong side. Nice. I'm just trying to aim this in a little bit because it's got to fit right through that hole. So I want this to be kind of angled down a little, or angled in the right direction on purpose. Phew. I came in late. How long have you been at the build? Hour 14 minutes right now. Are you doing grounds on signal wires? Yes. Somebody else want to explain why an F3 FC is... I mean, I kind of know, but I don't know if I can speak to it super well. Oh, heat shrink. Don't forget heat shrink. Has anybody in here built an XBR? And has anybody in here built it with the sandwich? Because I need some advice shortly. Yeah, I had a really bad issue with ESCs not being grounded, in which my quad was just totally misbehaving, and so now I always do it. If you can, always install it, and I definitely can in this circumstance. It was a ground loop issue, actually. It's looking pretty good so far. Ugh. All right, next one. Yeah, it's funny because I have a bunch of little B ESCs. I've got them running on 3 different quads right now, and 2 of them, or all of them, I have put. I left the ground wire on, but wired it straight to the power distribution board because all ground is common. But for whatever reason, with the QAV210 build, it just didn't like it. So I put the ground back on, hooked them up to the flight controller, and everything flew great. It was really bad. I mean, it was almost unflyable. Yeah, so I thought I did ground it to just any ground, but that didn't work in the long term on that particular build, and the only one of a bunch of builds where it has actually mattered. Yep. I'm guessing a lot of people in here are actually building right now. A few people said they were. What is common ground? Well, ground is the return for your circuit, and all of them go back to the same place. So ground itself is common. That's what it means? Like a lot of times they will be called just COMN instead of ground or negative. Because of that fact. But there's some sort of what's called a ground loop issue that I cannot explain to you. Yeah. Ugh. Okay. Oh, sorry, you guys probably can't see that very well. Yeah. All right. You should really go buy one. I'm probably going to buy myself one after this because this thing is freaking awesome. Pinman ASM. Yeah, I don't use OSDs for exactly the problem you've just described, or not ESCs. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't use OSDs because I don't want to troubleshoot them. I want to get out and fly. I am not building this XBR for myself. If you look in the comments, you can see a link to fpvraceleague.com. I am building this for them. So they bought all the stuff, and I am sending it back when I'm done. Unfortunately. Yeah, the thing that was happening for me was that my, and I could show you in the black box logs, where the entire quad would literally just glitch yaw randomly, really badly, like just like throttling up each motor that was involved in the yaw maneuver 100%. And so it would twitch just in hovering, it would twitch at high throttle, it would twitch on low hover. I couldn't figure it out. So finally, my friend Dirt Diver FPV suggested, oh, try wiring the FC and the ground straight together, and I fixed it 100%. So, yeah, I don't know what is all about that, but I can't do it anymore. Telemetry is the way to go, yes. I actually don't have any on right now. I use just a voltage beeper at the moment, but yeah, telemetry is love. Telemetry is life. All right, more power. Okay, something like that. Does anybody else's desk get this messy when they're building? Yep, I just used the cam title. I'm actually going to be making a video about that shortly, just because it's a really good idea that I don't think not enough people know about. But yeah, that's good. All right, and you need some light building music in the background. I always listen to music, but I didn't want it to or be too loud or get me banned or something. I don't know what to expect. Yeah, always set your cam title. It's totally worth it. Hey, will you set up a voltage warning? How will you set up a voltage warning? Does the Afro Mini have a VBAT port? I just use a little thingy. I think you're having the same yacht issue I'm having. Do you think you could look at my recent video? Yes, go on my website and submit my contact form with the video and a description, and I'll try to take a look at it. Approximate cost of this build. This one's probably closer to $400. What's your favorite Justin Bieber song? struggling with this one. Silence, nice. What little thing do you use for your voltage? Just the one that you hook onto the balance sleeve. Let me see if I have one. One of these things. It works. Costs $2. You can hear it from a mile away. It's kind of annoying, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. What's up, Bluegrass Multi-Rotor? Yo, wanker. Does beep like hell. I have telemetry. I have not set it up because I've been really focused on, or I've been focused on other things, and I have had problems with my Tyrannus. There wasn't very good documentation for how to set up OpenTX. Oh gosh. OpenTX 12.7 or 12.0.17 when I upgraded it. And so I just haven't done it. Heat shrink. Oh my gosh, you just saved me again. Gee whiz. Good save, good save. Oh, I am definitely sick of losing these things, but it's less work to order some more on Amazon than it is to order or to get the heat shrink working. Thank you for the save on heat shrink. That's my life. Maybe that's why I do this, is so that when I make dumb mistakes, there's literally 60 people watching for me to do something stupid. So it's kind of like half sadistic or half masochistic and half. It actually really helps. Look at that beauty. I'm actually really happy with that. Whew. All right, flight controller. No, you bet. How do we want to do this? I'm definitely gonna cut these wires back. Don't worry. Okay, so this side is in, so I'm gonna just cut this now. I'm gonna just run it to here, and then this side will go to the flight controller for 5 volt. This is what the client sent me. I have done that, but I'm gonna use this because that's what the client sent me. This is a 5 volt voltage regulator. Yeah. These are too small for the clippers I have. The client is paying me nothing. I really, really like building, and this is a fun thing to build. And it's a challenge, and it's fun to share it with you guys. So I I think I'm going to try to see if I can take some of the parts from this and keep them for myself, but we'll see. If that happens, I will announce it in a vlog. So subscribe, and you can see what becomes of that. Yeah, I am very, very thankful for Drone Rental Supply and FPV Race League to let me work on this. All right, I don't know. That's pretty good, right? It's out of the way. It's there. It's giving power. Avery, thanks for stopping by. It's good to have you. Want to do a 6S F1 build? Sure. All right, now flight controller. Now this is where I was hoping that there was a XBR person here. What I think I'm going to do is literally just put some tape, double-sided sticky tape, and just stick that on there because I think that's what they do. And then the cap will go. Oh, all this has to go down. Ooh, shoot. Come on, please fit, please fit, please fit. Fit! Yes, okay. Whew. That was nerve-wracking. So I just had to stick the... This is a 12 gauge wire. Because this thing will easily draw 100 amps. Is your client watching? They'll probably watch it eventually. I don't think they're live right now. They know that I'm streaming it. Well, that doesn't... It's not really fitting. It's like the camera is in the way or something. It's this camera. I'm trying to take it out of this really quick. Sorry. So without the camera, it's still a tight fit, but it works. So I guess we're going to have to lower the power distribution board here. Which sucks because we just put that U back underneath there. So we will... I've got an idea. This camera? It's just a TVL that's even smaller. You're brave live streaming your first XBR build, yeah. Brave or stupid, one of the two. I mean, people screwing stuff up makes for good TV though, right? Where did you get the parts? They were provided to me by fpvraceleague.com. I'm doing the build on their behalf. I've got some plastic washers here. Or I've got some stuff that'll work well. I've got a plan. Come on. Alright, so sorry for this, but I'm unscrewing the standoffs for the PDB. See ya, Jeremy. Thank you, I'm gonna need the luck. Man, I have all these wires so perfectly length. So perfectly length. That was solid English right there. How much money is in this copter? I haven't done the actual math on it, but it's probably very close to $400. Mostly because of these ESCs. All right, double-sided tape for the power distribution bowl. Where is my double-sided tape? At least I think this is double-sided tape. Almost ready to fly, not including transmitter. This is like the F1 car of mini quad racing. Like, this is pretty much as good as it gets. Wish I would have done this in the first place, because it's a massive pain. Where's the VHB love, though? What is VHB? I'm sorry. Alright, so it's not as clean now. I literally just bought stuff off the first thing that I saw on the shelf at I think I actually got this at Walmart. Alright. So I think I'm just going to mount this slightly forward because the battery lines are in the way. Otherwise it'll tilt forward. So I'm just going to have it up here, and that's where I'm going to tape it. Anybody disagree with that? Like, do I need to do some kind of insulation? I will post a few videos once I get it flying, yeah. I'm not sure how I'm going to mount my Xiaomi Yi on this, but it'll be there. Yeah, this stuff is not going to work very well. The tape is not, it's not holding it super well. It wants to come off. But it does fit now without the camera, which is good. See if we can get to the mounting holes. Oh, there's a... it's not that we made a mistake. There's a forward. And it's this way, so it's good. So this has to be motor 4 right here, which is fine. Just gotta move this orientation a little bit. So it just needs to be like this instead. Yeah, so I think I'm just gonna dab a couple bits of hot glue in there for now. Just a very light amount. Yeah, there we go. And then I'll tell the client that they'll need to clean that up later. Hey, I mean, I've not gotten it working yet, Gil. All right, let's wedge this camera back up in here. So yeah, that should work. All right, that's gonna work. I went with the tape instead of the standoffs. There just was not enough room. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I think, for tonight is skip the FPV setup, because this FPV setup is gonna be drop dead simple. I'm literally just going to plug in the VTX and the camera together and just get this fully assembled, and so we can do a quick maiden in the garage so you guys can see it's working. If that's okay with you guys. Definitely for us. Don't forget the U back. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know where to put it now. It's so beautiful. Camera fell down. Okay, that should fit. Now these wires are so short. You can jury rig Mobius on top of it, but and they'll tell you this: it was built to be the fastest racing quad on the market, and so it'll fit, it'll work, but it's not always the best thing. Man, space is tight in here. Holy cow. Like, that's not going to work there. Yeah, I will solder new wires on in a sec. My goodness. What is it so big in this, I wonder? Alright. Well, I've got these little voltage regulators here. You could have just used a 6mm bolt with a nylon nut as a spacer instead of the double-sided tape. I think, I mean, I'm still out of room even just with the double-sided tape. And you put it sideways on the front of the canopy like you have it on your open spot. I could just put it on the arm. That'd be ugly though. Oh, it wants to. Nope. This is a Black Bolt XBR. You put it on the other side of where the bat. So just say, put it here. Mount it with an ESC. Yeah. I guess I'll just do this. Well, but then. Alright. I think you're right on that, though. You gotta put new wires on this, though. Yeah, Jordan is a stud. Ditch them. You're very welcome. I'm glad you came. Ooh, I almost knocked my soldering iron off the desk here. Yeah, it's always fun to watch builds. How many drones have you built in all? I have 3. Just look up Jordan Tempkin, Tempkin, on the YouTubes, and you'll find him right away. Oh, what was I saying? How many quads have you built? I have built, like, I think 4 unique quads, but I've rebuilt each of them probably in the threes of times each, if not more. My ZMR 250 that I first got when I first started, I've probably built or rebuilt at least 10 times. More than, or I don't know, depending on who you are, probably not enough. Are you going to make a PID tuning video? Probably not. I'm not very good at it, and there are plenty of good ones out there. How long have you been doing this? I built the first time I flew my own built quad was March 15th of this year. Where did I learn to do this? YouTube. YouTube and Reddit, and just taking the opportunity to learn from friends anytime I can. The video in the canyon, I believe, is the XBR. March of 2015. See ya. Did I see what? And thank you. Yes, my heat gun is amazing. I said at the beginning of the stream if everybody's going to make fun of me for my quote heat gun, but there's a couple talented builders in here that said don't worry about it, so I'm not going to worry about it. How long does it usually take to build these? I usually take my time more than I'm doing here. So between 3 and 5 hours, I would say, is pretty reasonable. But I built a lot of them, so. That wasn't an ESC, so. Go crowdfund you a heat gun. There's other things I'd rather have you crowdfund me if, and I will go buy myself a heat gun at Lowe's for $20. Yeah, me too. The Agnes. I do what I want, Patrick. The Bic brand heat gun is the best. What do I do for a living? I work for a crowdfunding startup. Speaking of crowdfunding. Ours is aimed at nonprofits, though. Do you sell the drones you make? No, but I would. I think most people that would be interested in a custom drone would want to build themselves a custom drone. So I'm just going to put it here, like that. I'm going to use the good old lighter for the ESCs as well, because I don't have a heat gun. What type of drones do you make? I've mostly made racing drones. You can see a couple of them right here. And another one right here. Oops, sorry. That's kind of what I'm usually working on. There's my ZMR tricopter that I haven't yet made a video for. But I'm considering working on some planes in the next year, as well as I've got a hexacopter that I'm going to be working on soon. Banana. How many races have you participated in? 5 or 6 official ones. All right, so this is 4, 2, 3. No. 4, 2, 3, 1. This is forward. This is 4. This is 1. Oh gosh. I always forget this. It's so bad. How different is it to fly a tricopter from a quad? Not too different. Sorry, I'm looking up. Aha. Clean flight, motor direction. I always forget it. Always forget it. There we go. Dude, I didn't even have 4 right. I need to go to bed, guys. This is ridiculous. Oh, boy. So 4, 2, 1, 3. I swear I've built a lot of these. Okay. So start with 4 with the ground. Trying to remember which row was. I guess the middle row must be positive, right? Can someone look up the Afro Mini and make sure that the middle row is positive. Have you ever won any quad races? I have won 3 out of 5, 4 out of 6. I did not do very well at F3 Expo in Atlanta. I went to a race in Chicago that I didn't do very well in because of I got video knocked out by a newcomer, unfortunately. And then there's a local, I go and race with FPV Race League, who is the video sponsor, and I've done fairly well there. I'm thinking about how hard landing is sometimes ruining a battery. You know, honestly, you're going to be tossing. You'll toss your battery just as much as you will land on it. So I mean, it's kind of like, you know, I wouldn't worry about that part of it too much. Thank you for everyone checking on the Afro Mini. Do you win prizes when you win? Usually you'll get like a some piece of electronics or something. Like I've won VTXs and batteries. Okay, 4 is wired up. Now let's do 3, which is this one. Whew, that barely fits. Just removed my OSD. Good man. Is there a big crowd? Not usually in terms of spectators, but there'll be 30 people there total, which is fun. I race with Dominator V3 goggles. Okay, 2 is this one. Shoe. How is the racing scene? The racing scene is fantastic. So we were talking about at the beginning about a group, you know, just RC people being the greatest group of people out there. And I've had all of those experiences at race days. All right, and motor 1 is this one. I'm going to turn this up a little bit. When is your next race? I don't know. There's a lot of snow and stuff right now. It usually makes it harder. We practice every week at an indoor place, which is pretty awesome. Minnesota or Wisconsin? Shoot. Is Dark Avenger in here? I haven't seen him talking, so I don't know. Who asked that? TC Pro Snap. Go to my website, paulnercola.com. You can see it at the bottom. Fill out the contact form, and I will connect you with a couple of guys that fly in Minnesota so that you could get connected with them. Voila. All of the motors wired up. UBEC is not powering anything yet, but it will. Light controller got jostled. Will the canopy still fit? Yes, it will. That is money right there. Oh wait, Chris, you're a Dark Avenger, aren't you? No. Yes? No. I don't remember. I'm sorry. I'm Paul. Looks kind of messy now. All right. UBEC wiring. All right, I'm done saying words. But I would like some pizza. I kind of was thinking that it's not, I wouldn't call this a rat's nest, but it's not clean, that's for sure. Oh no. Come on, Paul. What's the hardest drone you've ever built? Probably this one, honestly. Jesse FPV, hello. Thank you for you and Chris's fantastic design. I really wish I had one of my own, because I'm building this for someone else. How much is it going to weigh with battery? With the right battery, this will probably weigh under 400 grams. Not too bad. Will fit. You're supposed to use a 1,000 milliamp battery with this. Not all that's supposed to, but that's kind of the recommended setup. All right. I think it's time to power this. Alright, we've checked each of the ESCs as we've gone, so we know that those are all good. This is all insulated, so that's good. So we should be fine. Alright, extinguisher nearby. Yeah, if only. Dude, I'm freaking nervous. Alright, here we go. 3, 2, 1. No fire, but also no power to the flight controller. There's a couple little beeps, but the flight controller isn't powering up. So I'm going to test to make sure it's getting 5 volts. Yeah, it's definitely getting 5. So that's wired right. 5 volts in, 5 volt in. The Afro Mini takes 5 volt in, right? Not like 3 volt or something like that. And then, how sensitive is it? Because I was getting, it was showing 4.85. Some of the I heard the ESCs beeping, but I don't know what. Yeah. Let me think about that for a second. No USB port on this, no. I don't think it's dead. I was using it last night. I'm worried that this maybe poked through and it was shorting out for some reason. Ugh, that's obnoxious. Test flight controller on USB to see if it powers up. Okay. Five volt and ground. Oh, wrong cable. See ya. Nada. Five volt, ground, ground, 5 volt. Might be dead. These leads are fine. I was using them last night just fine. Hey, Zach. Alright, so everything is off the maze now, except the USB. I do not have my Luminaire Lux yet. Check the little 5-pin regulator on the Alpha Mini to see if it's outputting 3.3 volts. So you're saying this one right here? I don't know if you can see that. That guy? It's not powering up, no, but we're checking to see if it is getting the voltage it needs. All right. Power, ground. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, I have a multimeter. The USB is connected, and it is connected to the 5 volts. Wait, what? So 5 volt into... Five volt in to 5 volt positive is reading negative 5 volts. 5 volt in to ground is also reading 5 volts. What? FTDI is given stuff. Means reverse polarity. For where? Is it like the Naze 32 with something? With ground on the outside, positive on the middle pin. Test for solder beads hidden in between pads. I don't see anything. ESCs do not power. Was the reg on the board giving out 3.3 volts? I walked away from it. I'm not exactly sure what you want me to probe. What I think you're saying, so here I'm going from the 5 volt in from the FTDI to ground. That gives me 5 volts. 5 volt in from the FTDI to positive also gives me 5 volts. Then 5 volt to the 3 volt gives me 4.5 volts. 3 volt to ground gives me negative 21 volts. This is not my job. I wish it was, even though I'm bad at it. I'm giving the Afro Mini 3 volts on the 3 volt line. There's a little 5-pin chip on the Afro Mini. Check all the pins on that. One should be giving out 3 volts. Oh, that thing. Okay. So you're saying this guy right here? Bottom right is 3 volt out. Yeah, the board is getting power. Oops. All the cables just came out of my FTDI. 5 volts. Ground. RX. TX. Let me see if the bootloader will turn on. Nope. Did I hit the thing that you're looking for, Curtis? I'm sorry, I'm not sure exactly where. Can you verbally state what is not getting enough power? As far as I can tell, the Afro Mini is getting the power that it needs, but it's not powering on. If you're not getting 3.3 volts, then it's not powering the STM. Does the computer make you make a sound when you plug it in? No. Well, it's a MacBook, so it doesn't do that anyway. But I think it will make a sound even if I just plug in the FTDI. I'm plugging it into my desktop. It does make a sound, but 3.3 volt regulator could be blown. Yeah, that's true. Tell you what, I've got a Arduino that has a 3 volt regulator. Let's power it off that. Of course, that might not help because if it's blown, the circuit could be broken. Alright, 3 volt to 3 volt, ground to ground, straight through to the thing. And then the cable. Did Afro Mini have LED when power's on? It did last night. Not today. That's a light. And it booted. Huh. So how the crap am I supposed to... Yes, there is hot glue. It's on. It's running over... It's running over 3.3 volts, but I don't have a 3.3. I do have something that is 3.3 volts. So I've got these. Where to go? This is a 1 to 17 volt regulator from Ready to Fly Quads. So if I just adjust this to 3.3 and hook that up to the nays and then just use the regular stuff for the rest, would that work? Why did it blow though? That's what I want to know, because I was playing around with it last night. Cool, guys. Good work. Virtual high five. Did you check continuity between 5 volt and ground? Yes, let's do that. Alright, continuity. Working. Stop. Five volt to ground. Five volt to ground. So that one is not connecting. So I don't know what that's about. You tried applying 5 volt to a servo pin. Yeah, that's what I was doing. I had powered it from right here and here, the right direction, to the proper to the 5 volts, and it didn't power on. Super weird. I have had nothing but trouble with this Afro Mini, so I don't know what's going on. All right. Little bitty voltage regulator. Put a little hot glue on it. Okay, that makes sense. Everybody should live stream their builds. They have an army of people to help them troubleshoot. Alright, let's set that guy aside. I really just want the wires off this thing. Why do you keep saying regulate it first? Am I missing something? Thanks. Yeah, I mean this is the no, this was powering just fine off of the FTDI last night. I should have made a video while I was farting around with it because I had so much trouble. Okay. In is this side. Faffing about, as it were. I buy my nylon standoffs kits on Amazon. I actually bought this one just the other day because I needed something urgently. Yeah, this is my timer says 2 hours and 30 minutes right now. I'm gonna be done at 11 no matter what. But yeah, and then I'm super busy this weekend, so I'm not sure if when I'll get back to it or if I'll live stream it, the finishing parts. But if you subscribe on YouTube, then you'll be able to find out. Okay, in negative, in positive, good there. That's going to be a pain. alligator clips. I have no idea, but I gotta plug it. It's the YouTube thing to do. Come on. Thanks. Welcome to the team. Golly. I don't know. The FTDI stuff has been such a pain in the butt. Okay. I have a female to female adapter around here somewhere. I gotta go through the mess here. One of those nights. Where in the world is that thing? I just wedged some wires into the battery. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know where my freaking female connectors are. I'll let you know in a couple days, Zach. I haven't found it yet. RX to TX, TX to RX. Yeah. Yeah, I literally don't have another female XT60 anywhere. It's okay. What in the world? Yeah, I'm literally totally blanking on ideas here. I don't want to use the PDB because I'm worried that there's a short somewhere. Good night. Thank you. Gonna need the lock apparently. I buy my props on twisted quads. All right. Positive, positive, negative, negative. And we still have the same freaking problem. Why did I think that was going to work? Oh my goodness, Paul. I'm an idiot. No, I'm an idiot. I'm so tired. What do I need? Alright. Here's what we're going to do. I should just take a break at this point. Alright, so I'm just soldering this into the power distribution board that's on this quad. Alright. Where'd my battery go now? These are 3 by 5 by 4, 5. Come on. Well, this is going to be a pain in the butt. 10 volts. Interesting. Ugh. screwdriver is too big. See a double O Asian. I need to be done soon too. Dude, that thing does not want to turn at all. What the heck? Dude, this thing is touchy. Why is it bouncing around so much? Does that work? No, it's too low. So the status update is that the Afro Mini is not liking 5 volts right now. So I'm trying to make a 3 volt voltage regulator to power the maze directly. And this thing is a pain. Just give me a second, I'll ban him. What the heck? As soon as I take my finger off of it, it goes. Alright. Get the fuck out. Alright, he's banned. Yeah, just look at this thing. This thing is so touchy. Oh my gosh, look at that. Now the regulator thing came off altogether. Alright, I think I am going to call it an evening and continue on at another time. I'm not particularly frustrated, but I'm just going to keep making mistakes, it looks like. So I'm going to take a break and hit it another time. Supposedly it could take both 4 or 3 or 5, but it's not taking 5 right now. Well, there you go, the finished product. Yep, I need to take a break. Otherwise, I'm going to make more mistakes, and more mistakes get frustrating. But yeah, no, shouldn't be too much of a problem to get that working. I just got to get one of those regulators all hooked up right, and then the rest is all mounted up, and we're good to go. Probably not Friday. Probably not tomorrow. I've got got some stuff to do, and all weekend long I'm out of town. So yeah, I could go made something else. I could go put something else in the garage if you want to see something fly. Oh man. Oh well. Yeah, throw it out the window. No, that's good. And I mean the stupidness had nothing to do with the frame or the build or anything. It's just I don't know what's going on with the Afro Mini. But if I was going to do this next, it would be with the regular maze and stuff. But yeah. It flew. All right, thanks everybody for stopping by. This is a lot of fun. Next Thursday I'll be at it again. I'm not sure what I'm going to be working on that time, but there's always work to be done. But yeah, I don't know if I'll be doing this during the. I don't know if I'll be. I'll probably work on this in the between time sometime just to keep some forward progress. But I'll let you know. All right, thanks everybody. Good night.